Welcome to the 180 podcast brought to you by BTFU. I'm Braith and joined again by the great Reni Matua. Big show this week, plenty to talk about. We're going to actually call Buzz Rothfield up, who retired last week from all duties.
Good on him.
Yeah.
50-year career, though. Far out. That's a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long time. And we'll talk more about that when we speak to him.
Yeah.
The Zac Lomax situation, a lot going on there. It's heated up overnight again. Comments from Matt Tripp, which he did mention Jonah Pezet in that. And I've definitely got my opinion on the situation and those comments, which we'll go through a little later on. Before we get to the check-in, I don't know if you look like Clark Kent or Ben Eichen. I'm trying to work it out.
Well, mate, you just did touch on Buzz, and there is a seat becoming available, so I'm just trying to put my case forward, you know.
Are you actually taking the piss with them?
No, I'm not taking the piss, you know. You know when they say you age overnight? I've literally aged overnight, so...
Yeah.
Mate, I've had reading glasses for a long time, but I thought I'd bring them on the pod. I don't have a run sheet like you, so I've got to look at my phone.
It's a good story, mate.
Thanks, mate. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm glad I asked. Anyway, all right, let's get into the podcast. Let's check in.
Yeah.
How was the weekend? How are you feeling? I mean, last week the body was shot from playing in that over 40s tournament with Braden or whatever it was up on the Goldie.
Yeah, it's not great, Braith. As you know, I was moving, so that wasn't ideal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How's my couch and my dining table?
Don't start that, mate. Don't start that. No, mate, it was good. Good move. It was, you know what? I think first world problems, but I think it's one of the worst things you can do in life is moving.
Sucks, doesn't it?
Everything's set. Everything's in. I'm settled. Knee's still busted. I'll get an MRI this week. So, yeah, that's about
I haven't seen you at training. That's all. I'm a bit concerned.
Yeah, I've got other reasons for not seeing you at training, but the body's not doing too well, so...
Are you maintaining condition and weight? Are you worried about that?
I am. A lot of saunas, Braith.
Yeah.
A lot of saunas. I've got a sauna and a gym in my new apartment, so...
I don't want you looking like Oprah again, you know, like last year.
No, mate, we're not going there.
Okay.
We're not going there. What about you? What's happened with you? What's going on? Talk to me.
What is going on? Well, it's amping up now. Like it's full on. Got a lot going on. Got to go to Canberra next week to the Parliament House for Fox. We've got the trials on this weekend, which I'll be hosting the coverage on Saturday night.
Hang on, what's in Canberra?
Oh, mate, you're just a bit of schmoozing, whatever the fuck you call it.
Albuquerque?
To be honest, I don't really want to go.
Yeah.
But it's just this thing you got to do.
Yeah.
Go to Parliament House and I don't know. I don't even know.
There's a future in it for you, I reckon.
Politics?
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything worse.
You do talk a lot of shit.
What about the Volk?
How good is the Volk? How good is he?
That was awesome, wasn't it?
He's just an Australian legend. There was a stat out there that no one had won the title after the age of 35. I think he's 37. Yeah. I saw in the weigh-in and just how good he looked, his body looked. I thought, geez, he's on here. And it was a very technical fight.
It was, wasn't it?
Very technical, and he was outstanding.
Smart, right? Experience, just heart, determination. 37. You know what? But like, I know when I got older in footy, I lost my legs. It wasn't the fastest as it was, but I got slower every year.
Yeah.
The Volk. What are you laughing for? Are you sweet spilling?
I got slower.
You have aged overnight, actually. It's like a grandpa.
I think I put the wrong glasses on.
Do they even work those glasses?
Of course they do, mate. It's prescription glasses. I told you the story before we started. Do you want me to take them off?
I fell asleep here the first time. I shouldn't have asked again. The Volk, he had quick, fast feet. Like his movement around the ring.
Yep.
It was, he's too quick. I mean, he's small and he doesn't have the reach. But he kind of just makes it work, doesn't he?
Yeah, the game plan, when he'd get in there and he would exchange, because Lopez is dangerous, he'd pivot, get out, change angles, and he was outstanding. He was outstanding. So we love you, Volk.
Yeah, well done. Congratulations. That was huge. It was a huge win, and he's a warrior, absolute warrior.
Machine.
One of Australia's best athletes. There's no doubt about that. Ren, you wanted to talk about the new show you're dropping over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through when it's going to drop and all that as well?
Look, I'm waiting for the season to start. This is going to be, we're sort of discussing it around BTFU and what it'll look like. I'm going to do it by myself. I'm a podcast nerd and I watch a lot of boxing analysts, UFC analysts,
Yeah.
So basically it'll be essentially something about game of the round, and I want to set up a small studio in the spare room at home and just give a quick reaction to more of the analytical breakdown of a game, and and just put something out, just put out some more content for our fans. I want more fan engagement.
Yep.
Just because we played NRL doesn't mean we know everything. And looking at comments from last week, I loved some of the best ideas I've heard have come from people that haven't played the game.
Yeah.
So, I'm certainly no expert, but I'm looking forward to getting more content out there this year. So that'll be on the agenda after round 1.
Awesome. Looking forward to that as well. And we'll have more content all across BTFU. I'm looking to do a golf show. We're going to get UFC, boxing, which I mentioned last week, and AFL as well. So we want to cover all sports. We want to talk to the fans. Actually, a lot of comments after last week's show. We'll get there eventually. Are we going to touch on Barley and our friends Aaron Felice and Hendo and Clinton? There was a lot of reaction to that, wasn't there?
Mate, it was an outstanding reel put together by our man Tommy Gunn, who's behind the camera. And the story, it was hilarious, and Azza, our man Azza.
He's not happy, is he?
He's not happy.
He reckons everyone on the wharves were just into him.
I did get a message from Hendo as well.
Hello to all the wharfies. Keep giving shit to Azza too, by the way.
Yeah. Mate, he wasn't too happy about it. And I don't know if he's taking the piss or not. I'm thinking, is he being legit? Does he like the attention? But I think there's someone who's going to be coming after you.
Me?
Yeah, I think our little man Hendo might have something up his sleeve.
Oh, please. Please. What's he ever done?
Look, I've offered to interview him and just get their
Hendo hasn't got a bad bone in his body. Azza reminds me of Mario Fennick, though,
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, Mario's got dementia.
Yeah, but before he got dementia. That's not even funny. Why are you laughing?
It's not funny at all. But
I mean, before he got dementia.
To.
When he's on the footy show and they take the piss out of him and that?
Yeah.
When he handed Jack Newton the hot coffee and Jack's only got one arm. Do you remember that? And he had a saucepan. So Jack couldn't even have a sip of the coffee.
that is as for the viewers that don't know Aaron, that is Aaron.
All right, let's move on from Az, poor bastard. We love you, mate. You know what? I'm going to give Buzz a call.
Get him on the line.
Buzz, who has retired from everything, News Limited, so he won't have his column in the paper, which is much read column, the most popular column, I believe. I think the stats show that. And 360, we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him in 360. I'm going to miss him because we had a lot of fun on it. We'd go toe-to-toe at times and have a few, pretty heated arguments, but also we'd take the piss out of each other and have a bit of a laugh. So I've got to know Buzz really well. He's been on this podcast before, so I'm going to ring him to wish him all the best and maybe just ask him if he thinks is
just quickly
step up.
And I have said this to you before, and I've heard the boys talk about it. I heard Mason Hoz speak about it. When Buzz came onto 360 and you saw the human side of him, all we ever saw for many years was just an article.
Yeah.
He's a good fucking man.
Yeah.
He's a good human, and being a journalist, tough job.
He's burned a lot of people, right? But
all journalists or just done his job.
He's done well. That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
He's done his job, but his job, is that one of getting gossip and probably writing things that others wouldn't.
Yeah.
And what I found, I don't want to say that when I'm on the phone to him because he probably wouldn't like it, but the work he put in, the phone calls he made, the information he got was second to none. And I work with all the journos now. He's the best, was the best, and love him or hate him because a lot of people don't like him, and that's fine, because you're a polarizing figure, and that's understandable.
Are you there to be liked as a journalist?
If you're there to be liked, you won't go far.
Yeah, correct.
You just won't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you've got to write the information that you get. You got to put your balls on the line, or else you're probably not going to be around long. And Buzz was around for 100 years, so I probably suggest he did all right.
The fossil.
Let's ring him, mate.
Better put my glasses back on for this.
Hope he answers.
Buzzy.
Buzzy.
What's doing, bro?
How are you, brah?
Yeah, brah.
Yeah, real good, mate.
Mate, you're on the podcast, mate. You're on the podcast.
Oh, you got me, eh? Yeah, I knew you'd get me.
Well, I had to get you because I don't know. Even though we're good mates now, I don't. You've put a media ban on yourself, haven't you?
Oh, a little bit of a media ban, mate. I've done nothing. I've just tried to disappear quietly, but you know.
Well, Buzz, from everyone.
You obviously need a little bump in the heads and ratings, so you've come to me. You've come to the man.
I'm milking you again, Buzz. But congratulations, mate. From everyone here, honestly, before we get to the piss talk, mate, you've had an amazing career. We love you. I'm going to miss you on 360, mate. So sad about that, but mate, you deserve a break now and spend time with the family, mate, because you've put the hard work in for a long time.
Yeah, it's been half a century, mate.
Yeah.
One job, one building there at News Corp. Walked in as a 17-year-old. I'm turned 68 this year, and mate, it wasn't that hard a decision, to be honest. I just didn't want to come back to work.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to come back.
That's like Reni every day. But so you just went on holidays and you had your usual break and were supposed to do obviously Vegas and all that, you just thought, mate, that's it. You want to kind of you didn't have the motivation to get back again.
No, I just didn't, mate. And mate, I've only got one pace, as you know, and that's going flat out. And look, I had a heart attack 25 years ago, 2001. I was supposed to slow down.
Yeah.
You saw how well that went. I just didn't slow down. And then 2 years ago, mate, I semi-retired, right? And I got out and tried to get out of the day-to-day grind. And, mate, it's bloody hard work. And that doesn't work either, mate.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And then people have been saying to me, oh, why don't you just do a podcast? Why don't you? But you know what? A podcast or even a radio gig, it keeps you in Sydney. Yeah. Because do you know what I mean?
You love the Goldie. You love the Goldie, don't you?
Mate, I love the Goldie, but look, I've never been to an Ashes test in England. Because, you know, I've never seen Europe in summer. Yeah. And, mate, there's other things I want to do. Yeah.
Hey,
apart from carry you on a Monday night.
Don't worry, mate. I'm auditioning for your spot on the chair there, Buzzy. Mate, so you're on the Gold Coast. What's the penthouse like at the Mondrian?
Oh, mate, please, I wish.
You and your budgie smugglers up there?
No, mate, just taking it very quiet. I'm about to pick the family up at the airport. Actually, I drove up like a battler.
Battler, don't start that shit. Come on, mate.
Mate, you know I'm
Did you get a big payout from, you know?
I didn't get a payout.
You'd have a long service leave. You've been there for 300 years. Surely there's something.
Yeah, but, mate, I actually left and News Corp altogether a couple of years ago, but I continued just working as a contractor myself, you know. And,
now, quickly, Buzz.
Mate,
go on, sorry,
yeah, mate, it's bloody, you know, I feel like all this bloody stress has left my body, you know. And
I know the feeling.
Mate, I'm serious. It's it was really, really hard work, but it was the best gig on the planet, wasn't it?
It was.
Who else is?
It was. You've done well, but not everyone could do it.
Mate, you've done unreal, Buzzy, mate. 50 years in the game, mate. That's commendable. Congratulations. Mate, just a quick question on the 360 side of things. Who do you think should take over your seat, in all honesty?
Well, in all honesty, they're going to need someone who's got a head a bit like me, right? So I reckon Bulldog Richie's your man.
Oh, the dog.
The dog.
The dog.
The dog.
With his John Travolta shirts.
I want to talk about you and the bloody dog. Because, mate, this is another feud I had to settle. Now, you two had a little falling out some years ago.
Oh, wow.
And, mate, who got you back together?
This is an exclusive.
You'll claim that. I've had feuds with everyone.
You're still working, Buzz. This is an exclusive.
Mate, I got you and Dog back together.
I remember Dog walked past me and we were on a trip.
Plane.
We were on a plane and Fox had put me in business and he walked past and we had a bit of a feud going and I just gave him a wink as he walked past. But no, it wasn't a feud. You know, it's like you kind of have disagreements as part of the territory when you journos.
Tell me about disagreements.
Well, on that Buzz, now I had Gus Gould call me.
Yes,
after the announcement, and he was like, "Thank fuck he's gone."
Yes, he did not.
No, he didn't. But I'm sure he was thinking it.
Yeah, no, well, mate, there probably are a few people who are, you know, doing handstands, you know.
Did anyone reach out that you were surprised with, or any nice messages any stories you got for
mate,
us?
I've had 1,000. I'll tell you a beautiful story about a family in Newcastle. I got a 70-year-old bloke rang me. I don't know where he got his number. He said, mate, my mother's in tears. She won't be on TV and you won't be writing a column. I said, your mum? I said, you're 7. I said, how old is she? The lovely lady's 101.
Wow.
And she watched the show every single Monday night. And
crazy.
I said, when's she 102? And he said, next month. I said, well, I'd like to call into a party, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll make it to 102.
Maybe she was an old flame, Buzz.
I'm an old Newcastle boy, mate, and you know, as a young bloke, I had a big stable. You know that.
Oh, I know that. You had the hair flowing. I heard Benji reached out to you too and sent you a nice message. You were telling me the other day.
That was really nice of Benji, actually, because, you know, things haven't gone all that flash at the West Tigers, have they? And we've been very, very critical. He lost 9 straight a couple of years ago and he jumped on a plane to Fiji. And I remember on 3-6, I said, this shouldn't happen. He should be here working. Richard was in England, you know. And it became quite a major debate. Should Benji have gone there or, you know, after all those losses? But he just sent me a text. It was really lovely. He said, mate, I know we didn't always see eye to eye, but respect from my end, you know. Yeah. And I said to him, well, Benji, next time you hop on a plane to Fiji, there's going to be no old prick calling you out, you know. So,
he can play as much golf as he wants now.
Yeah. Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
Good on you, Buzz. Appreciate you answering the phone. And again, from everyone here at BTFU 180 Podcast, congratulations on an incredible career, and I'll see you soon for a beer.
Mate, I want to thank you because we bag each other a lot on the show and it's all good jest. But when you came onto the show, I don't know what it was, but something about your demeanour that made me feel like I could be myself a bit more. And laugh and, you know, not take life so seriously. And, mate, I love the banter. I love the makeup room, Instagrams and all that crap. And so I thank you, mate.
Good on you, Buzz. I appreciate it, mate. It means a lot to me. And you've done the same for me. So I'm going to miss it as well, mate. So you go and take care of the family, mate.
Good on you.
All right,
enjoy, Buzzy.
Bye.
See you, mate.
Mate, what a legend.
Buzzy.
Can you give us a quick rundown on what happened between you
I
and
can't
Bulldog?
remember. I swear on my
worst
kids,
memory,
I'm
mate.
shocking. But, you know, like, honestly, when you got journos, they write stories all the time. And back in the day, I'd copped quite a few.
Yeah.
And if they were wrong, I'd call them out.
Yeah.
I'd ring them up and say, what do you know, and if they were wrong, if they're not wrong, but I'd ring them face to face and I'd have a crack.
Yeah,
you know, and even now,
you
know, if someone writes something about me or says something, I don't let it impact me nowhere near as much, but I'll call them out if they're wrong, you know.
Has Buzz ever mentioned to you who the greatest player was he's ever seen over, 60 years? You know, imagine having the generation of footballers.
I've never asked him that. That's too serious of a question. And he's been around that long. He would have seen that many generations of players. I think it's hard to compare, and I think he knows that, to compare from, you know, when he first started to now. Very different game. But, yeah, we'll ask him another time maybe.
We'll get him in.
All right, let's move on. Should we go through the comments? You want to address a few of the comments from last week? We want interaction. We want fan interaction. We've spoken about that in the first podcast. We appreciate everyone reacting to last week's, and Reni and I thought we'd talk to a few of those comments, concerns or even agreements, whatever it may be, from last week. What do you want to go through that now?
Look, I think the main one was the Bulldog reel we put out, and I'll premise it by saying, look, it was all hypotheticals. Burton is the 6, and at this stage it looks like it's going to be Galvin. But, you know, me suggesting that he could potentially, you know, slide in at fullback, you know, there's a few comments about it. We'll go into our man Ellie Shakif 9018. This Burton to fullback is ridiculous. Where did it come from?
Reni.
The world was going psycho about Galvin playing halfback. Burton has never played fullback. Okay, you get the gist. It was either Burto, he's not a fullback, or he should go to 13 if he can't play 6. My position on this was Burto is 6, Galvin likely the 7. And with Berto, his potential is that if he's injecting himself into the game as much as possible, Bulldogs tend to win. I went over his stats. He only had 4 try assists in 21 games last year. So we need more from him at 6.
That's unbelievable.
You're right. He is a runner of the ball. A brilliant runner of the ball. He's played for his country at centre. He's played for New South Wales at centre. He's a 6'4" athlete, quick, and has skill to pass. The problem I have with 13 is that not everyone understands how hard it is to play in the middle.
Yeah.
Your tackle efficiency in the middle needs to be up over 90%, right? You are making 30 tackles a game. I just believe that you put him in the middle of the field, he becomes ineffective.
Yeah.
So fullback for me is if you had to fit 3 into 2 would be the best position.
I think that's
for
right.
him.
See, we're looking at this, and we're not defending anything here. We're just reacting to the comment.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the current situation as it is, in the uncertainty around the sevens, which I asked you around the halves, where could it land? And the suggestion of Burton at fullback, quite a few dog supporters did comment and say, either it was ridiculous or he's a 13, he's a 13, he's a 13. And that's fair enough because even though we think it may work at 1, we don't know if it will.
Yeah.
And we're not saying put him straight at 1. We're saying if a combination doesn't work in the halves to start the season, it's an option that we think could work for the reasons that we gave. Now, if you're moving to 13, you're making 30 tackles a game plus, right? So one comment was that he can't play fullback because of his defence. So put him at 13. I don't know, but that's a tough one. And then when you're making so many tackles, you're not as effective in attack, right? And at 13, you're in the middle of the field, so you're not getting the ball in open spaces at the right end of the field in the right spots as you would at fullback.
Yep.
So that's our thought process behind it. Could he make it as a 13? Yeah, he could. But we probably see it more so the other way. And a lot of people would disagree with that, and that's fine. But that's just our take on it and our reasons for that. But I don't – what other comments did you get that we could maybe talk about?
That was basically around the Bulldog
That's
stuff.
all around the Bulldog stuff.
It was all hypotheticals and, and it's good to have this interaction with the fans and what they –
Well, Mitch Woods, we did get comments too. Mitch Woods has been injured. He'll miss the start of the season. So, and I believe that O'Sullivan has been training the house down at
You've
Bulldogs.
heard the same thing?
Yes, I have from a few people.
Yes.
And there's even a question that he could start the year.
I heard the same
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
So, again, this is just information we've heard out coming from inside the camp. Well, if he's training great, that's great for the club. Gives him more options. But the actual hearing that he may... he's in contention for that 7 jersey, and what they do with Galvin and Burton, I don't know. But I think, so you've heard it. What do you think? Do you think that he's a genuine or they're just...
I think, I'll just go off his ability, right? He's come through the Penrith system under Ciro before. He knows the expectations. He plays very square. He's a natural half. He's a left foot kicker, Galvin can play on the right. If he's going to play at 6, or what I see from Sullivan is probably another Toby Sexton, a game manager. He probably misses that little bit of athleticism.
He's just another Toby, but slower.
And a little bit of spark, but I rate his ball skills a little bit higher than Toby.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably, and his kicking game.
His kicking game,
yeah. So that's probably where he's got Toby covered, but it's
interesting, they don't have to reinvent the wheel, the Dogs, right? Their defence is solid. That's why they are the best defensive team in the competition or thereabouts. They've just got some little bit of cracks and tweaks they need to make with their attack. And it's in the halves and it's around the fullback. The best teams in the competitions have the best fullbacks. Reece Walsh, Pappenhausen, for example. That's why we're suggesting, and this is not shitting on Connor Tracy. He's all heart but if you had to put another scenario in and give yourself a better attacking option, I like Burton at 1. You think of the edges, right? You've got Kickout, you've got Preston, you've got Critter, you've got Sherry, and then you've got a Burton sweeping at the back. That's dangerous shape to be throwing at defenders. So that's where I just see him as maybe potentially a 1.
Well, I just hope that whatever they do, they're doing it now, and they're ready for the year, and they're giving whoever the 6 and 7, they're giving them the keys and saying we've got you for quite a while, because even this, it gives me a bit of anxiety thinking that we're hearing O'Sullivan's now a chance, and are they going to stick with Galvin and Burton in the halves? And it is a little bit of a concern for me that at this point, and even a month or two in, that we could still not know what the best combo is. And I hope for their sake that whatever they go with works, because it could unsettle the year, and you don't want a slow start.
No.
You want to be out of the blocks.
Yeah. In terms of Brewster's comments, there wasn't too many things. There was something about Robbo, and someone said that they haven't fired a shot since 2020. Discipline was one of their areas they need to improve, and they seem to be one of the teams that haven't adapted to the 6 again rule. Would you agree with that?
I would say the discipline's the biggest, and we said it all last year. We've said it for years. Their completion rates are horrendous.
Yeah.
Like, if they complete over 80, they win every game. Like, that's and it's not a quick fix. Obviously, they've got one of the best coaches, Robbo, which we spoke about last week, and we asked, was he under pressure or not? But his job is to get them to complete.
Yeah.
Like, because if they complete, it gives their star power attacking systems, players, opportunity to score, which they don't have a problem doing.
Yep.
It's then the pressure, and I mentioned their defence, if they are under pressure in the 6 again and they're making errors, they're giving other teams set after set after set, and, it's too hard.
Yep.
And I think that's why, now I think about it, their completion rate's poor, and the new rules that are in, you're not seeing the ball for long periods, you can't win games.
It's too hard.
And they kill themselves with errors. They just, and that's why, again, I mentioned Sam Walker last week with his low percentage plays. They need higher percentage plays, because that's actually their Achilles heel. You can make a few errors, but then make the right decisions at the end of sets or whatever. But if you're making errors and then you're going for the Hail Marys, you're cooked. You're chasing your tail.
Yeah.
And I think it's just become a bit of a habit for them.
Yeah.
Like, for a long time. That they would have won a comp in the last 4 or 5 years if they completed over 80 for a year, or 75 plus or whatever. Like, they're not even close though.
I wouldn't say they're not close, but
completing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not saying not close as in performance. I mean not close as in discipline.
Yeah.
The discipline for a whole year has killed them. They've got so much potential, and even last week in regards to comments, we weren't right. I wasn't certainly writing them off at all.
No,
I just didn't have them
not at all
in the top 3 or 4 teams. Like I do on paper.
Yeah.
But there's so much more that goes to it for me for them to win a comp. And I need to see a couple of months of them, improving their completions, DCE and Sam Walker making their tackles, seeing how that combination evolves and where they're at in terms of, who's got control of the team and who's kicking, all that. There's so much. So
and that'll show what kind of leadership and experience DCE brings into that squad. You're stepping into a new team, and you just take the reins straight away and say, no, we're not doing that. This is what we're doing, right? That's a big responsibility for DCE. And he's been at the top for a long time, won Origins, played for Australia, and I'm sure he's been brought there for that experience.
And your glasses are off.
Glasses are off, mate, because I'm about to read the next one. But anyway,
don't you put them on to read, though?
Well, I'm not reading anything yet, mate. I'm looking at you.
Okay. Just a bit worried about you, mate. All right, let's get to the Zac Lomax situation.
Yeah, you'll have to give me the rundown on this one.
Yeah, you didn't see this one. Oh, you saw it this morning.
I
saw it on Instagram, actually. The quotes from Matt Tripp. So I suppose paint the picture. I think most will be aware of this situation now if you're a rugby league fan. If you haven't seen it already, by the time this sort of goes to where you probably would have. But the Zac, everyone knows the situation with Zac, but Melbourne have come out now firing bullets. Their owner, Matt Tripp, who I know very well, has come out and fired some bullets. You know what, Reni? I'm going to read through exactly.
Okay.
Not the whole article, of course, but I want to address a few of the quotes in there, because obviously my player, Jonah, has been impacted or implicated by a quote, but there's also some other ones I'd like to sort of talk to. Let's start with the first one. he's been crucified for being sold a dream that ended up a nightmare. Given R360 has become moot. Said that word before. And Parramatta didn't want him back because they were thrilled to get him off their books. I'm not sure what the young man was meant to do. So pretty much Matt Tripp saying here that, you know, he was sold a dream with R360 that didn't eventuate. Parramatta were happy to see him go. What's he meant to do?
That doesn't fly with me straight off the bat. He was sold a dream.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, I mean, there was nothing in stone with this R360 competition. But go on, sorry.
No, well, to talk to that myself,
Yeah.
it doesn't fly with me either, right? So, again, being around the situation as an agent, when R360 come on board or were making noise and trying to sign players, it was always high risk. Like, it was high risk because there was no R360. There was no R360, right? So if they've sold him a dream without any evidence of it going ahead or evidence of being paid or contracts, and he has a management team behind him, Zac, and he would have people and his parents, whoever else that he confides in.
He needs to find a new management team.
They made a decision with high risk. So whose fault is that? But see, this is where Matt is unfortunately like painting the poor Zac situation. And
he's gaslighting us.
You know, again, as much as I love Zac and wish him all the best,
Me too, yeah.
This is not making the situation any better because that doesn't fly, man. That doesn't fly.
Not at all.
All right, let's get to some more. There's some more juicy ones.
Yeah.
Parramatta were clearly trying to free up cap space to get Jonah Pezet, which they did by moving on Zac. This caught my attention.
Yeah.
Now,
give me the breakdown.
I'll give you the breakdown, ladies and gentlemen, how this played out.
Timestamps.
So at that point in time, we were, and I've spoken about it on the podcast, we were looking for a 1-year loan, or it ended up being a long-term deal, whatever it was, right? We know what the deal was with Jonah. But just to talk to this. Now, when Zac decided to leave Parramatta and join R360 that wasn't there, we, at the time, had no contact with Parramatta about Jonah going there.
Yep.
And as a manager, this is what you do, and I'm mates with Rolsey.
Yep.
When I saw the news and seen that he'd left, so this is after he'd left,
Decision made,
he's gone.
Yep.
Right? I thought, well, they're going to have cap space now. So they could take Jonah for a year, what happened. So I rang Rolsey, and Rolsey said no, because it had all just happened, and he wasn't in a position, and he didn't so he didn't even know where they stood in terms of finances. Can they afford Jonah for a year? What's it going to entail? There was not even a chat about it.
2 different positions. Do I need another winger?
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
am I going to replace a winger with a halfback or a 5'8"? So this is like
rubbish,
right? And then, then as time went on, Zac's left us, so now we've got to look for other options. And how can and Rolsey took his time in thinking, how can I, use Jonah or whoever he was going to go, whatever. So he handled it professionally, and that's how it played out. Like that comment there. And I'm actually disappointed in Trippy, and I'll talk a bit about Trippy at the end because I do like him as a guy, and he's a great guy, and he's very successful, and I'll speak to that. But I was disappointed he brought Jonah into this because Jonah sat there for a couple of years and loves the joint, left on good terms, bided his time, left, did the right thing by everyone in the end. He did nothing wrong, and to bring him into this and use him as a pawn there with Zac, just unnecessary. It was unnecessary. What I would say there, he said if he didn't go, could they have secured Jonah? Well, no, they probably couldn't have, but that's irrelevant.
Yeah,
like he's putting it back to front. In the end they could get Jonah because Zac walked out on the club. And another thing too is Zac is on double the amount of Jonah, and Jonah's only a small contract for 1 year. So to say that they're freeing up money for Jonah, You know, he's wrong there. He's wrong there.
Is he trying to put out information that's
what do you think's behind it all?
The Supreme Court. They're going to court. He's trying to paint a picture, right, and put out information for the courts. You know, and unless he's got receipts on this,
well,
that's not going to stand. You don't just make these comments though.
Yeah.
Unless you feel like you've got proper evidence of that happening.
See, Matt Tripp, right, he's a very successful man.
Yeah.
Like sports bets, you know, all that. He's made lots of money and he's very switched on. I've worked with him a lot over the years with, you know, having 2 players at Melbourne, and he's a great guy. He really is. And I feel like you come across people like Matt who are so successful and are so used to getting their own way, you know, like so used to get to success and winning and getting the players they want, getting the business they want,
costs.
Taking it from here to there, success, that when you don't get it, you can kind of you know you can feel a bit of like
spit the dummy.
I don't like this. You know, like how am I going to handle this? You know, like what this is. You know this and this may still work for Matt Tripp. Like this is the thing. He's not stupid. You know, like he would have analysed and thought about how he approaches it and what he's going to say and what their next move is. And you know, he was talking to Zac over the Christmas break when there were 6 other clubs after him, and he was the one that got him. You know, at Melbourne, and it's But I mean, I've had a few Melbourne fans saying they're not happy because you know they're thinking that Melbourne are acting a bit unlike Melbourne.
This stinks of desperation. I've never seen this from the Storm organisation. I've never seen them so erratic or just so indecisive of what they want to do or what they need. They've always had backup plans, and now they're chasing Zac, who's just left 2 clubs. That sort of goes against the optics of their culture, right? You know, like you want people to buy in. You know, he's left the Dragons on, you know, not so good terms. Now Parramatta, and then Melbourne have gone after Zac. It just surprises me that it goes against their values. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And what it says to me is that they're concerned about this year. They're concerned about the last year.
Yep.
They're concerned that they got so close to winning 2 grand finals and couldn't get it done. And both grand finals, to be fair, the Penrith one the year before, they didn't look like winning. The Brisbane one, they looked good early and then just they weren't even close, you know, the back end of the game. They've lost Pappenhausen, Jonah and Big Nelson. But they need some star power and they need some firepower and they need to evolve. They can't keep being the Melbourne they are. And I know that sounds strange because they've made the last 2 grand finals, but teams are getting better.
Yeah.
Other teams, even though they probably didn't make the grand final, probably think they can win it. Melbourne have now lost 2 in a row. I mean, psychologically, you're thinking, do we have it to win a comp anymore? You've lost at least 2 key players in Nelson and Paps, and you know Jonah only played a handful of games, but up and comer. But they're probably their players are aging in terms of you know Hughes and Munster and you know and they don't have Katoa. Sorry, they don't have Katoa.
Yeah.
They're out, and I mentioned it. They're outside backs. That you know, if in terms of firepower, it really is that kick the coats, and you know, like they don't have a hell of a lot of options on the edges.
Well, and Lomax is probably on Coates' maybe almost Coates' equal in the air as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned desperation. I think that's the key word here. Is that they think this is a big hit. It's a must get. They obviously have sort of disregarded the type of personal player they look for at that club and thought we just need something that's going to try and get us to another level here because we're concerned about the year ahead.
Yeah.
Does it feel that way to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'd be going for him too, mind you.
Of course.
I'd be doing the same thing.
Zac, what he does off the ball, his carries in the air, you know, he's a competitor.
He's a machine.
He's a machine.
He's a machine.
And any team would want to pick him up. It's just how ugly the situation is. And now you're going to a Supreme Court. I mean,
how good's round 1 going to be?
I mean, they must be. They got Johnny Cochran as their buddy lawyer, Zac. I mean, like, I just don't see Well, they must be pretty confident that they're going to win this court case.
Yeah.
Well, as do Parramatta, but
we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, Ren. It's an interesting one. Only hit it up with those comments from Matt Tripp, and I just to finish off, he did make a couple of good points where that Parramatta poached Jason Rolls off them, and didn't ask them if they could do that, and then Melbourne were happy to let him go because they look after they were happy to look after Rolls and let him make that call. And Parramatta kind of have, if I saw that, like, someone mentioned to me, like, they got Mitch Moses when he was contracted to the Tigers, didn't they? Like, he still had time to go. They got Lomax when he was contracted to the Dragons and still had time to go.
Yeah.
So they've kind of they've done it a couple of times themselves. I think it's
all getting a bit petty.
Yeah, it's getting petty. But those comments I couldn't really talk to, but the others I thought I could.
Do you have a prediction of what's going to happen?
I said it last week. I think he lands in Melbourne. I just think whether I agree with it or not, or I just think somehow because I heard he was introduced to all the players in Melbourne and he's been inside the camp at some point. So they're fully invested in this. They've made the decision. He's pretty much a player that's not allowed to play right now, but they think he'll be there. So read into that as you will, but the NRL, because what's next here, and I can see the mental health being used at some point here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people may hate me saying that, I don't know, but it's like I've read this book before, and it'll be, he's struggling now. He's he's made, because that when he made the point about what's the kid supposed to do, he was sold a dream and delivered nothing. That to me is trying to go down that way of poor Zac. And the more goes down that way, the more the NRL are likely to fold. That's how I see it. Do you think that's a chance?
Yeah, absolutely.
I could be wrong,
but what I'm thinking is just what the fuck is a contract worth there?
I can toilet paper, just
paper.
like your script you gave me today.
1 ply,
Shit.
not even 2 ply.
All right, let's go to a couple of teams that we think will be on the rise in 2026, and we'll start with yours.
You want to start with me?
Yes.
Mate, on the rise, mate, I've got big raps. And this is, I think a lot of people have the same opinion, but, mate, the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins, they were the best attacking team in the competition last year. They finished 9th. I think they finished 9th 2 years in a row as well. It was their defence that obviously let them down. You've got that Donahue, who is an absolute machine. You got Gilbert coming back. Flegler's going to take some time, but having him back, you still got Kafusi, you got Saifidi.
Yep.
We don't need to speak any more about Katoa and what he brings. Cody Nikorima doesn't get spoken enough about.
Yep.
You've got Herbie Farmworth in the centres. You've got Hamaso at fullback. Cobbo's there now.
Yep.
Right? And this is a completely healthy team. They are a top 6 team for me.
Yeah.
Maybe even push towards 4.
Okay.
I really like and Trey Fuller. That's another kid that I could see as a potential 14. So I won't speak too long on it, but I think we can go back and watch this episode at the end of the year. And hopefully my prediction's fairly right. What's yours?
I wouldn't call it a prediction. I think the team on the rise for me for season 2026 will be the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Obvious reasons around injuries that they had last year.
Yep.
Which hampered them. They were competitive at the back end of the year, even given the position they were in and the injuries that they did have. The fact that I don't think that, they won't have as many this year, I wouldn't think. And, Wayne is getting to a point where the end's getting closer. We don't know when it's going to be, but,
He just signed a 10-year deal with the PNG.
He's not Benjamin Button. At some point,
Maybe he is.
At some point, it's just got to come to an end. So I would think Wayne would want to finish on a high and put everything into these next year or two, whatever it may be, next few years. And he's a proud guy and he demands success. Now, you know, add to that, they've still got the firepower of Cody. You know, even Cody was, even though you worry about him getting through a whole year, but Cody even was really good at the back end of last year when he came on. Latrell's obviously a big folk. If you look at their team, like honestly, even what are they going to do with Jai? Fafita comes into the side, Jack White, and you know they all really haven't reached their potential over the last couple of years. And if they can do that, you know, even Brandon Smith. Now he come out and said he's been off the piss. He's went to rehab, I believe. I think he did. I'm not speaking out of line there, but he actually messaged me yesterday, and I see congratulations on how good he's looking and the way he's training, and he looks like he's turned a real corner. Now you get someone like him who's had a bit of a wake up call now. Well, probably the biggest one he's had, and it's like this is his time. He doesn't have many chances now. You know, he's got to make it work, and so they've got
Campbell Graham.
You know, he was injured a lot of the year. So
I think the last 2 years he's missed a lot of footy, hasn't he?
The problem will be there's a lot of pressure still on Walker and Latrell because that's really where the points come with, like who's going to play halfback? Do they go with Humphreys? Jonah Glover's there, which we haven't really spoken about too much, and he was, I heard he was very unlucky last year not to get a start at the Dragons, and that's why he left. So, he's a first grade. Bud Sullivan, listen, I'm not a big fan. I'm sorry. He's got some strike power, but I wouldn't be having him as my half,
So what you're basically saying is, like, they do have a team that's a strong team, but they got no depth.
That's the problem. That's why they got burnt. They don't, and they don't really have a genuine 7 right now either.
Yeah.
Like they do, but they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a proven, genuine 7 they know is going to work. Most teams that are at the top have got their 7. They know who their 7 is.
Yeah.
That's a worry.
Yeah. Did you watch South closely enough to see when Cody was coming off the bench?
At the end?
At the end?
Yeah, he did. He still set up tries. He comes on and goes bang, bang.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I thought that could be an ongoing plan for South.
Well, there's still going to be, like many teams, does Latrell play fullback or centre? Would Jai play fullback? What do you do with Jack Whiten? Do you keep him in the centres? Do you move him? Who is the half 6 and 7?
I'd move him into the back row.
You'd move him back row, Jack Whiten.
I'd put Fafita on the right and I'd put Whiten on the left.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, I've been saying, I just thought they really needed to stiffen up their pack.
Yeah.
Would this be Jack's second year or third year? Second at South? Second year? And I thought second year. I just thought they needed a bit more mongrel in their forward pack.
The only risk with that is Fafita's the left side.
He's the left side.
And you've got that loaded left-hand edge, which is where they score all their tries. And you've got Cody, Fafita, Latrell, do you want to change that?
Yeah.
Or not change it because Fafita's new, but do you want to move him from his preferred left?
No, you could probably put Jack on the right, back row.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I would probably do because you want Fafita, as much as he struggled at the Titans, he hasn't had these players around him.
Nah.
You know what I mean? And you want him feeling comfortable too in his first year.
You aren't doing – people don't understand is that you do a lot more work on the right side as a defender. So I'd want to keep Fafita as fresh as possible and keep him in his natural left side of the field.
Yeah.
It's just the way people like to pass right to left, and they attack that way a bit more, so it might not take as much gas out of the tank. So,
just a quick mention: young Taj Alvarez, 5'8" SG ball last season. I think he signed a long-term deal. He's fit and he's fast. I've seen a bit of footage on him. There's a bit of noise around South with Walker getting to the end. He's one to keep an eye out for South fans, and Cody Hill. Brent's young fella, captain the SG ball. He's fit and he's been killing it as well.
What position?
He's hooker.
He's a hooker.
Yeah. I've watched him play quite a bit too. So they got some young guns coming. South always do. So, I think they're going to have a big year, and I really do. I don't know if they're –
I hope they do.
I mean, again,
I'm around it so much. I just hope they do have.
You know what I love about this year? There's so many unknowns. Like, you know, you can't say you're an expert and come to make all these predictions. You'll have egg on your face because there's going to be a lot of surprises, I reckon. Like,
we saw it. We saw it last year. Is that with these rule changes, you know, these bottom teams can there's a lot more upsets these days, and you can chase down points.
Yeah. All right, who's going to fall off a cliff this year, Ren? Who's under pressure?
This might piss off a few people. Not piss people off, but
you want to be a fence sitter, or you want to be Buzz Rothfield, mate?
Look, I think that we could see a slip from the Broncos. In 2014, after they won the premiership, they slipped to 7th the following year and bowed out in the first semi-final, something along those lines. We know that Madge systems, they empty the tank. My concern for the Broncos is Payne Haas has played a lot of fucking footy, a lot of minutes. He was limping a little bit at the back end of the year. He went into the Pacific Nations, played a lot of footy. Carrigan's played a lot of footy. Renault's not getting any younger. Ben Hunt's not getting any younger. When Penrith went 4 in a row, they've got the right leaders there. They've got the right older heads. The leadership group outweighs the younger generation, if that makes sense. So you've always got everyone in check. And I'm not saying that Brisbane don't have good leaders. I think they're still such a young side that they put so much into these pre-seasons that if it gets tough during the season, do they have the mental fortitude to want to go back-to-back?
Yeah.
It is very hard to win back-to-back. So
I just think you're concerned.
I'm not concerned that they're not going to make the 8.
No, but you think they'll fall away. They won't be there.
I think they could fall away. Yeah.
All right. I think they'll be fine. I do have concerns over a number of things you just mentioned. But if you look at like Ezra and Reese and those guys, they're sort of not even near their peak. You know, so I'm excited to see them. A lot of their team are young, but what I would say is that, you know, they do lack experience, and where they have experience in Reynolds and Hunt, you know, those guys are nearing the end, or are they? And is there going to be conjecture around Adam when he goes ahead again? Like, so that could unsettle them a little bit. But I think if they all, you know, they were all pretty professional last year, the way they handled it. I think they're just too good of a team to fall off a cliff. You know, I really do. And I think they've got enough depth up there now.
It took them a very long time to turn it around.
Yeah,
until the last 6 weeks.
Last year they looked legless for a few months of the year.
Well, they were legless until Renault and
I know.
And Ezra went down.
Maybe they just needed that confidence though. What happened at the back end? Do you think they're a bit temperamental team? Is that what you?
I just feel like the intensity of a Madge side, which is I love Madge and I think that's what you need to win competitions. Do they have the mental capacity and fortitude to back that up again?
Yeah.
And I'm concerned about their big name players playing a lot of footy.
Yeah, fair call.
In particular,
I think it's fair call. It's fair call.
A shitload of footy.
All right. Well, my one is the Melbourne Storm, and I kind of spoke to it before. Melbourne have been up for a long time, a very long time. They've still got a great spine. You know, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'm concerned about their forwards with no Nelson for back up there. You know, Utoi Kamanu had a really good year, but they're still a forward or two short, I believe. And again, outside backs pending what happens with Zac Lomax and creativity on the edges and being able to create something out of nothing and those kind of, you know, ball playing even back rolls and stuff like that. There's just a few elements of their game where, because they're so well coached and they've got the big game players in Munster and Hughes and Harry, they'll be there again. Yeah. Like, they will be there. So I'm not saying they're going to fall off a cliff. I'm just saying that I think they'll fall back a few spots. And, you know, I can't, you know, with the team they had last year and the position they were in and the year before and not get it done, well, try and explain to me or tell me how they're going to get it done this year.
How many, and we said it last year, how many gears do they have? Like you said, like a Melbourne, a Dogs, these Penrith sides, they can get there. Yeah. But do they have another gear to win it?
That's what you need. It's the extra gear that they don't. You know, if it's not Cameron creating something out of nothing. Or, Jerome, they got so much firepower there, but I don't know. It's like, fair enough they depend on their spine so much, but in other teams and there's other guys that kind of come up with something at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to put a finger on.
It is. It's they've played. I just don't. I haven't seen enough evolution in their style of play, and I remember when they had the big three and they'd have all these little trick shots. I haven't seen that for years.
That's a good point.
They've always they know how to get there, but the trick shots are gone.
Well, I feel like too, and this is no disrespect to Craig, but being in the same system, same coach for so long, and again, it breeds consistency.
Yep.
But how far can does it get to a point where you go at some point, it's like a bit monotonous or?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, but
I'm just sort of throwing it out
I like
there.
what you're saying because it'd be just as hard for Craig to change as his coaching
Philosophies.
methods and philosophy with the rule changes as well, because no one knows exactly how to manipulate, not manipulate, but to work with these new rule changes.
All right, that's it for that. Reni, you want to play a quick rapid fire to finish off the podcast?
This is called the Fireball Rapid Fire. So let's just quick one-word answers. I can't even remember the questions I put down.
Oh, I've got them here.
Yeah.
Best teammate you've played with?
Best teammate I've played with. Is that what the question was?
Yeah, you wrote it.
I think I changed it, but it was on that piece. Best teammate I've ever played with. Best teammate.
Does that mean best performer or best
I know.
Fucking good question. He writes it and then asks, is that what it says?
What are you laughing at, mate?
Why are you going to your phone?
No, because I wrote it. I changed it.
Oh, thanks.
I just forgot to tell you.
Well, you forgot to tell yourself because it's fucking on there. Put your glasses on, mate.
Yeah, I know. I need the glass. Best teammate I've ever played with.
Fuck, is it that hard?
Mate, I played with some great players.
We haven't got all day though, mate. It says
the
rapid
most
fire.
talented-
It says rapid fire. Reni.
SBW. There you go.
Okay.
Who's
I'll say
yours?
Joey Johns.
Okay. All right. The 8th. Big
Toughest opponent or teammate?
Fucking big noter.
Rapid fire.
I'm going to go a different path. I'm going to go Luke O'Donnell.
Oh, okay. I'll
The
go Mark
Donsky.
O'Neilly.
Yeah, that's an obvious one. Ogre's the toughest. All right.
You asked me a fucking question. I answer it. Sorry, it's obvious.
Righto.
Fuck, this guy in his games is shit. Favourite stadium to play?
Suncorp.
Yeah, Suncorp.
Suncorp,
And that's
that's
hard
good.
to say because it's fucking Queensland, but Jesus, good.
Fuck, it's a good place to play.
Most memorable moment other than the grand final?
Penrith semi-final, scoring that try.
Nice. I'll say 2005 Origin Series win at Suncorp with Joey.
Boom.
See you next. You know what? Super Bowl on Monday.
Oh, there you go.
Super Bowl is on Monday before
What are you
we
doing?
go. I'm hosting an event
Wow.
with Justin Horror and Willie Mason at the Coogee Bay Hotel. Come down. Big day. They're going all out in the Bay.
So we're going to have a little bit of a Mad Monday.
Hey?
Super Bowl Mad Monday.
You know what? I might have a few beers, because I wasn't going to do it. Then a few people are telling me they're coming now, so I might just put one on. Going to come down? Or you
I
got
only
work
hang
on?
with first graders, mate.
You only hang with
You're
first graders?
not a first grader
Oh,
when
okay.
it comes
Who
to
do you
having
hang
a
with
few
then?
beers.
Who's a first grader in your life?
Mate, I'm
You
not
can't
going
even
to
think
throw
about
him
the
under
11.
the bus. One of them works at the Wolves, but I won't say his name.
Okay. All right. So the Super Bowl, let's get into it. The Patriots. The Patriots up against the Seahawks. Interesting one, this one. The Patriots haven't won since Brady and Belichick back in years ago now. They've kind of, the Patriots last year were like only won 3 or 4 games and lost around 14. And they've totally turned that on its head this season. And totally unexpected, they've got to the Super Bowl. Take on the Seahawks. Seahawks won their division, which is a lot tougher division. They're favourites to win it, Ren.
Yep.
Seahawks coming off a good win against the Rams last week. It was a high-scoring game, and I know you don't follow it that much, Ren, so that's why I'm trying to talk you through it. But the Patriots, low-scoring, blizzard conditions, snowing, got the win. Do I even ask you who you tip, or?
I've heard a lot of people go back and forth, but I'm going to go Seahawks.
Seahawks, yeah.
Seattle Seahawks.
Go with the
I don't
favourites.
know why, but I am.
I was going to go to the Seahawks, but I'll go to the Patriots now. New England.
I've seen them win enough.
Create history. They've I'd like to see them win post that era of greatness with Brady and
Yeah. Obviously, Belichick's not there anymore, but he's still got that young missus.
he wins. Belichick for the win.
Belichick is the real winner.
He's winning on and off the field.
Immortal status.
Yeah. You reckon he must be sponsored by Viagra?
No, he doesn't even get Viagra. He get Camagra.
Oh, you know what,
He'd have
but
the gels.
on the back of that, I saw that he's not been put in the first. Again, I'm not great with details, but the Hall of Fame or something like that.
It ended bad for him, right?
Well, because he
wants a young Sheila.
Just because he goes all right, and gets the young birds. He's what's that going to ruin his whole dynasty?
You can't put him in a Hall of Fame. There should be a Hall of Fame for him for getting a young chick like that.
I wish there was a Hall of Fame for that, actually.
You reckon you'd make it?
Nah.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.